Hello beautiful people, what it do Sky Squad, welcome back. In this video I'm going to share with you some of my top 3 major lock saving tips on how to get your curls to be popping and to last longer, and I'll also explain how I got these curls as well. So if you want to know more, let's get into it. I realized that first off, I just felt like doing curls this time around. I don't know whether I do it for my birthday in the early part of December or for Christmas, what have you. I end up doing curls on my locks at least once a year now. I don't do them too much often than that, but it has been a long time since I've used Flexi Rod. So I wanted to just share with you guys what I do to keep my curls and have them last for a very long time, because I don't like to use a lot of products. I don't use mousse. I don't use any of that. So I'm going to share some tips with you that I think that's helpful on why my curls last so long without having to use additional products that for me are completely unnecessary. So let's get into the technique of it all. When I retwist my hair, first off, if you haven't watched my no retwist journey that I've been on, make sure you check out the most recent videos I have on that, because I used to retwist every single month faithfully for years and years and years. And now I'm trying to change it up a bit, zhuzh it up a bit, and I really like it so far. So if you want a little bit more detail on all of that, make sure you check that out. But this time I did retwist again. My last retwist wasn't the best. So, but this retwist, we got it going. So after you wash your hair and you're ready to do the curls, I split my hair up into halves usually. This time I split it up into 4. And this is one of my very first tips to have your curls last longer, is to do it on freshly washed hair. Something about freshly washed hair, a fully dampened locks, just makes my curls last so much longer than if I go back later after it's fully dried and try to mist down with the mist. Yes, it's damp, but not as damp as it was if you washed your locks, dry them. They're still damp on the inside, like to the core. And I think that really helps. So then as it fully dries down, it dries down into the curl shape. So that's my #1 tip to get, you know, your curls to last longer. But anyways, this time I did my hair in quadrants. I didn't use any combs or anything, but I just went in, palm rolled my locks and put a clip in. And as I was getting done with each section, I went back in and used a Flexi Rod. I basically started from the tip, rolled it up all the way to where my clip was. And it wasn't until after my hair had been drying and a few hours later that I took out my actual hair clip, and then I proceeded to go ahead and roll the Flexi Rod up even more. So yeah, that's pretty much the technique. Retwist your locks, well wait, wash your locks, retwist your locks if you want to. I think it's optional, especially when you do curly styles. So I might do some a little bit more frequently, because, you know, as long as you keep your hair, you have a chance to kind of like separate your locks if you need to. You could just curl them up, and I just think you don't need to have your hair retwisted to have your curls look nice. So anyway, my favorite, or my second favorite lock tip to have your curls last longer is, yes, you may put your rollers in, yes, you may stay under a dryer, but I sleep with my rollers in overnight. This is like a non-negotiable. Is it always the most comfortable? No. Which is probably why I don't do this too often, but for me, even if you think your locks are fully dry, you want to be extra sure before removing your locks. Okay, so for me, it's easier to have it dry down as much as possible. And it doesn't matter if I do my locks like at 9 a.m. and they're dried a few hours later. I'm still sleeping in with the rollers overnight, and I'm not really removing them until I really kind of have to the next day. But usually I don't sleep on my rollers more than one day. This time I did, but I actually have like a virtual like work holiday party to go to. So I'm not gonna show up in my rollers on Zoom. I'm going to take it out. So, and they're ready. But that's my second tip to have your locks and your curls last longer, is to actually sleep with the rollers in if you can. And I feel like it helps really set it to where you don't have any limp locks, especially if some locks didn't fully dry and you thought they did. It really kind of helps prevent that by keeping them in an extra day or at least overnight, and then you're good to go. So in this part of the video, I'm going to kind of show you what I did and how I rolled it up. So we're gonna start from the back. Oh, and I do have some perm rods on the sides here, and that was because when I was doing the flexi rod, I missed a lock over here. So I was like, oh, that's okay, it's near the front. I'll just do the same thing to the other side. So that's why I have perm rods here, but normally they will all be in these flexi rods. So I'm gonna unroll these. So they're not as tight of a curl as you would get if you did the perm rods, which I'll show you in a second, which I don't mind. I kind of wanted, I don't know, looser curls. Let's see. Yeah. So I don't really have anything on my hands. I don't have any oils. I don't put any mousse on my locks. To me, there's really not a point in that. For me, I don't know. I don't want to put anything else in my locks that could embed in there or be a source of buildup, or anything sticky that can make, like, you know, debris or like lint attached to it. Because it's already like everything wants to attach to your locks. Like everything is like loves locks and just wants to hold on to it. And I don't want to add anything else product wise to my locks that I don't have to. So some people have used mousse and all of that. I don't see the point. And so if you're like me, or if you just want another way to like see how to get your curls to stick, just do it on freshly washed hair. Sleep in your rollers in overnight. And I will show you how I actually sleep. It will be my next lock tip, but this is also how I sleep with a satin scarf, because I don't just tie my scarf like I do normally. I have to wrap my hair up in a certain way to really just kind of help eliminate me like pressing on my locks or flattening my curls sooner than I would want. So that would be my third tip. So I'll make sure to tell you guys that. But look at that. Look at those curls. I don't think I used these flexi rods in a while, because when I had really short hair, I feel like perm rods have been my friend. So if you have shorter locks, use the perm rods, and they may be like, or the cold wave rods, whatever they're called, but they may come out like super tight, but that is okay. Like they will actually fall and get even looser, even more beautiful over time. So keep the same tips I said earlier, but if you have shorter locks and you still want to do a curl, do like use these, what these are. Get a different diameter to your liking. Use these and you can still get the curls that you want for sure. But now that I feel like my locks are longer and I didn't want as tight of a curl, I think these flexi rods are giving me exactly what I wanted. Now I've tried the pipe cleaner curls. I might have to retry that again, because when I first tried it, I just felt like it was a lot more work than I needed to do. Like I could have just got either these rods or the flexi rods and been just as happy, rather than using the pipe cleaners. But I'm gonna see if I can revisit that again, because I think if done right, hopefully they wouldn't be too tight, and I hope they would be comfortable to sleep in, but I don't know. I think it really wasn't that great the last time I tried, even though it's been a while ago. I love how these curls are coming out, y'all. These are how they're looking like so far. I put about 5 of my locks in each flexi rod. So if you have the same size as me, of course, if you have thicker locks or whatever, you may have to adjust how many you put with each rod. But I did do a bundle rather than individually one by one, because that's what I would do with these perm rods. I might put like 1 or 2 together, and that was it. So I would say these are a lot easier to sleep in and to deal with than a head full of these, that's for sure. Here's that. Now, if you want to know how do these curls compare to these curls, let's get into it. So again, I just make sure that you tuck the ends of your locks so it can just maintain that curl formation. But I just pop these off and I just kind of unwind. And see, that's how tight your curls can be. That's how tight your curls can be. So if you do your whole head in it, it might just look like really tight curls, but they just fall so beautifully over time. And I feel like when I do my curls, it's about a couple of weeks, and then when I could kind of tell it's time for me to wash my hair, my hair just kind of look like it's wavy. But this is how these two look. Let me see if I can get, let me find my, hold on. My third and final tip on how to make your curls last longer is, how do you sleep at night? You don't want to mush them. So I wrap my hair in what I call a pineapple. So essentially what you do is you take your scarf just like how you would normally, and kind of get in a triangle formation, make it as big as you need it to be. And I just flip all my hair up to the front. That way my curls are up. So as I'm laying on it, if I'm mushing anything, it's just gonna be like the underneath part. And then when you get to the top, you see how all your curls is up here. So rather than me laying right on top of it and deflating the curl. So, and that's how I go to sleep. And really, this is how I like to pretty much wrap my locks normally, more so than the traditional way, just because it's off of my shoulders, it's like out of my face, it's off of my neck, and I can just kind of sleep like peacefully. And I think it keeps the satin scarf on better. I think this is pretty much the best curl set I've had in a very long time. This is exactly how I wanted my curls to look like. I think it was a combination of all the tips and these flexi rods for sure. But this is nice. I really, really love my curls. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope those 3 tips were super helpful for you. If you want to see more, you know what to do. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe and thumbs up the video. And until next time, peace.